Good morning. It's a little later than I usually do my walks today, but it's such a beautiful day. I've been out here for like an hour, just enjoying how wonderful and smooth the air feels. It's just such a nice, beautiful day, especially after all the heat and rain that we've had. So I figured I'd take a little walk down to the pond, and there's a little pond behind me, as you saw. We got a bunch of the locals are out today. We got a family playing with their kids on a golf cart. We got some people doing stuff with their dogs back there. It's just a beautiful, nice, comfortable, cool day after that scorcher we had yesterday. Man, it was like 92 all day yesterday. It was miserable. Anyway, let's go over here. There's this old lady's house that I get to visit sometimes. She has a bench that she lets me use. Let's walk over this way towards this bench. There it is. We'll head over that way. So, what do I want to talk about today? Today, I want to talk to you listening right now. I want your feedback. I've been thinking about morality and belief, what's good and what's bad, and where it comes from and why we believe the things that we do. I talk to a lot of pagans and a lot of Christians. The white right is just full of anti-Christian rhetoric. Some of it grounded, some of it reasonable. And it makes me think. I have never known, personally growing up, anything around me in culture. I've never known anything but Christianity. And it makes me think. The wisdom that I can get from reading the Bible, the wisdom and the guidance I can get from Christian norms, Christian dogma. Here we go. Here's the bench. There we go. It's cute. Let's have a little sit here. The things that I can glean, I can get from Christianity, the moral compass stuff that I can get out of the Bible and from talking to other Christians, I wonder how much of that is a product of our biospirit and our civilization and not so much the religion itself. I ponder those things because the pagans I talk to, the ones I talk to, I know there's plenty of degenerates, but the ones I talk to have a strong moral conviction to do what is right. So what determines what is right? Because when I listen to the pagans that are friends of mine talk, I agree with them. I agree with them on what should be done, how to live, living a clean life, living for folk and family, not giving over to degeneracy. Like, these things, if they don't come from Christianity, do they come from us? Is Christianity a product of our biospiritual influence of the Hebrew Levantine source material? Is that why we are so different from Muslims and Jews? Could be. Because when I look at the Bible, the Torah, the first, I think, 4 or 5 books of the Old Testament in the Bible, well, that's the Jewish Bible, right? And then you've got Islam, which came much later. It was ratified much later as a religion. It's a lot more similar to the Talmud and the Torah in some ways, but it's also very different from the other two in some major ways. Is that because after a millennium of warfare and strife and struggle, a particular biospiritual expression from the people that Islam came from is what made it so different? And so that makes me think, our morality, the things that I consider right and wrong, how much of that is a product of what I was taught from the Old Testament? Or how much of that is a product of our people's biospirit flexing on everything around it? Because when you look at artwork and music and literature, fiction and nonfiction writings, movies, poems, the morality and the beliefs and the desire for a state of being is manifest out of the European biospirit. Whether you read Chaucer or Shakespeare, like, you can see certain themes that are definitely European. Does that necessarily mean that they come from Christian morals? I don't know. So, maybe I'll do a longer stream on this at some point, but this is what I've been thinking about all morning. So, I want you listening to this right now, let me know in the comments below. If you're an atheist, an agnostic that has no particular religion, of a Christian persuasion or of a pagan persuasion? I mean, if there's any Muslims or Jews that listen, let me know that too, but I doubt that. But let me know, what do you think? Do you think that the way that we live and what we believe is right and wrong, the ways that we believe lead to our flourishing, that lead to living a good life, living a life of meaning, of success, do you think that those are a product of our biospirit and of our civilizational memory of genetics and spirit and things made manifest in us? Or do you think that it comes to us divinely from an outside source? And in what way does it come to us? You can believe both. You can believe in a god or gods that gives us these things intrinsically. I know some of my pagan friends believe that. Also, I suppose you could even make a Christian argument, especially a Protestant argument, about the Holy Spirit giving us that too. It makes me wonder, because when I talk to the pagans that are building community and family around pagan beliefs, whether it be Odinic or something else, they seem convicted, and they seem to have a strong moral compass, and they are very driven. They don't seem like fools or misguided. They seem like responsible, moral, genuinely guided, driven people to me. And I talk to Christians who are like that too, who want to build the same kind of thing. And it makes me wonder, is religion just an expression of the divinity in us as people? Or does it come from somewhere else? Because if it comes from somewhere else, then you have a cosmic right and wrong. You have a cosmic correct or incorrect. And that puzzles me, because I do think that we have to have some kind of non-human, bigger than us, divine model to work towards and to work inside of, to have civilizational success, to have folk success. I believe that. And this is me telling you that as a person who can't feel faith. I've always technically been an atheist, I guess, or an agnostic. It's impossible for me to truly believe that gods and angels and demons, oh, there was a bird, it spooked me, that gods and angels and demons and things are real, in a sense that tree over there is real, in the sense that this piece of grass that I can hold and feel and smell is real. My mind can't comprehend those kind of things as being real. It just can't. So I come to all of this as an older person now who has realized you can't just have secular human need and greed controlling things, because we are all fallible. And I think that's why you have religious parables of any kind teaching us that lesson, is that there are things bigger than us that we will never be able to understand or control, and we have to do our best to comport ourselves and live not in the shadow of something, but live in the service to something bigger than us, greater than us. And whether you believe that's the empirical success of your folk, maybe you're expansionistic, empire, war-minded, maybe you are of a more peaceful, pacifistic, noble spirit, you still believe in things that are bigger than just you and petty human need and greed. You believe in that if you are a passionate, motivated person that believes in civilizational change, empire, religion, religious dominance, or any kind of monarchy or divine order. You sort of have to at least make yourself behave as if you believed in those kinds of things. And so I wonder, what makes me, as someone who can't feel faith and has to come to all of this through a lens of hope and utilitarianism? It makes me think, where do the values that I have, where does right and wrong come from? Where does it come from? Does it come from us? Is right and wrong a compass that all of our resonant biospirit together shapes? Does civilizationally our ethnic expression, does it create the right and wrong? Because if you look at history, what was considered right and wrong, what was considered noble and ignoble, has changed. It's gone one way and the other. I wonder how much religion and spirituality and a concept of right and wrong is part of our biospiritual reflection on the environment around us and how it changes us, how we have to adapt to survive. I wonder if our morality is that way too, because I want us to survive. And the more I talk to Christians, the more it seems like if they cling to their concept of Christianity and their beliefs of pacifism, turning the other cheek, rendering unto Caesar what is Caesar's, I don't see that being a path to our survival. I don't see that being a path towards European success, towards powerful white countries. I don't see that. And so that point goes to the pagan bros of the white right. However, institutional power and the necessity of having unification in a belief structure to organize the plebs and give the common man a blueprint. Point goes to the Christians for that because it's so present, it's so ever-present and so dominant. And like my friend Paul Fahrenheit says, it's easier to make the winning side based than it is to make the losing side win. And so, I'm sort of torn between the two. And I just wondered what you guys would think about all that, and I wanted to share that with you today. Let me know in the comments below. Be as long-winded as you want. Write me giant paragraphs if you want. I'm really curious about this, and I might do some streams on it with some friends of mine, pagans and Christians, and see what comes of this line of thinking. Because I love Stefan Molyneux. I used to listen to Sam Harris. I used to listen to a lot of philosopher talk. I used to listen to people who were concerned atheistically or religiously about the bigger why of right and wrong, how we should comport ourselves as a civilization. That stuff is interesting to me still, and I think about it a lot. So let me know down below what you think. Share your opinions and ideas with this, and that might lead me to having some really good stream conversations with other thinkers. Todd, Praise of Folly, comes to mind as a Christian to talk to, and my friend, excuse me, and my friend Raging Mandrill comes to mind as a pagan person to talk to about this. These are both moral men who have brilliant minds and a lot to say about civilization, but they come at it from a completely different framework of spirituality and belief. But yet, each man seems to want a very similar outcome, and each man wants the European folk to succeed and be healthy. So, it's definitely a complicated subject, and I'd like to hear what you have to say. I've rambled enough today. Let's go ahead and wrap this up here. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. I might edit it. I don't even know if I'll keep this video at all. But this was mostly just a log for me to get my own thoughts out. And it turned into a good conversation, so I might upload this as a bonus morning walk video this week. So we'll see. Assuming I do upload this to my channel, I love y'all and hope you have a beautiful weekend. And do the right thing. Be concerned about doing the right thing and building a positive future. That's what we all should do. God bless.